The train now arriving at platform 5 into 2205 diverted East Coast Main Line service to London King's Cross.
Hello and welcome to Ballan Parkway OO gauge layout extension project phase 3 part 14. Just now showed the sidings on the other side of the layout I've been working on here. Basically there's 4 tracks. I've laid the tracks now, all done, and started weathering the tracks as well. The ballast has been laid down with ballast bond, and I've weathered the tracks quite heavily in an oil stained colour. Still a bit of work to do here. Just so certain sections that I've come across on the internet, you do see this actually, where minor repairs have been done with freshly laid ballast that hasn't been affected by any oil or stuff like that. I've done that around the track a few times, such as here. Just gives that an extra dimension. Basically it's been probably filled in with spades and stuff like that. They used to do that, just little sections rather than using heavy machinery. So a little bit on the main line there. We'll do a few more bits like that. I say I enjoyed the weather in this track. It's still not finished, so when we go down here you get sections where there's gaps in the track. I'm going to statically grass some static grass fibres in there growing out of the track. As you go further down it's going to be where the neglected tracks not being maintained, so there's going to be more down this side, obviously in between the tracks as well. So that's another job that I'll just bring this out to life so it deteriorates as you get towards the buffers there. That's my plan, and it should look pretty good. So it links quite well with the old side of the layout now. So this is where the old layout finished, onto the new section here. So get quite a bit of stock in there, that was the idea. It's quite a long footage there to put the rolling stock up on. Just a little addition here. It's a 3-aspect signal that I've had bespoke or custom made now, as I say. This is from CR Signals. Basically I've had this made for a tall signal with a slight arm just here. I've asked them to do that. They did it straight away pretty quickly as well, and not very expensive either, which is really good. I'm really pleased with that. Basically for this track here, this is a loop line that connects with the main line. So we've got a freight train coming down here, even a passenger, to let the express train go through. So basically they've modified a platform starter signal to make it taller, so it peaks over the line there on that arm. I've had a little detail here, this little signal telephone box from Nightwing. I've just lobbed it off the sprue and stuck it on there. This signal's been adapted a little bit. There's a little plate on the top here the guy working on the signal can stand on through the loop, and the ladder came with it as well, which I had to fix myself. And I've also put a relay box at the side there, which I've weathered and painted. Got the signal board here to identify the signal. Stuck that on, and down where the track is here you can see where the cabling comes through in the orange connecting conduit pipe through there, and I've weathered it around here where the train will stop as well. So basically I've done another the signal cabling. I've also put down there when I was, before I weathered and ballasted the track, and that goes all the way down, quite a way actually. It's about 3 packs I think I used here, 2 or 3 packs to connect with the next signal down the bottom down there towards the end of the old stage of the layout. Just show you what I've been doing here. This is the rolling stock sidings I've been working on to park all my rolling stock up as much as I can. Started work on this months ago, and I just recently weathered it, and now I've applied static grass using the electric static grass applicator, and I must say it's made a huge difference compared with the old method I used to do it with a little bottle. Much more effective. So basically, if we go down here, I'll take you down. I've done little areas inside the track where the weeds have grown out and the grass has grown. So these sidings are slightly neglected. So I'll just walk you down here. So I've got little areas that I've got the grass growing between the sleepers, and I put little things like this, little weeds growing out, which when the trains go over it just flattens and pops back up again. Obviously I looked at some sidings and this is what happens, you get them neglected and weeds start popping up everywhere. Take it down here. As you can see at eye level, it looks really good, really effective. Quite chuffed with this actually. Took me a few hours to do, but well worth it. So again, add some weeds, as you can see. As we get close towards the end, it gets more overgrown in certain areas. And then we reach the buffers, which are covered up with static grass more heavily. Put weeds down, and I think that looks really effective. I've mixed the colours here, so you've got light and dark and medium colours in there, so medium, light and dark green, and a beige colour for where the grass has grown and deprived of water, it's dried up like straw. A little bit more to do, I might put a few more weeds in there, but you've got to be careful not to get them trapped in the locomotives. There's a small offshoot siding that I started this on at the end, so I've done this quite heavily. As you can see at the back here, I put some more foliage down there and grass, and as we go down the siding here you can see obviously weeds are put in there, and I said the locomotives do flatten this when they run over it and it pops back up again. So you've got to be careful with this, doesn't get into the workings of the locomotive, the electrical connections, otherwise it'll cause a few problems. Let's go along like that. And as we get towards the end of the buffer stop at that, where it's hardly ever used, the siding, more weeds, and at the end it's completely overgrown. So it just looks very effective. Try and get eye level, you see. That's quite good there. My plan is at the far end of the layout, where the back scene is, I'm going to put a hill ascending here with a bank towards the rails. So I'm going to use Celotex material, which is an insulation board for building. So I'm gradually build that up in sections. So that's the first section is going to go there, and on the opposite side there's similar sort of thing as well. So basically it looked like the actual sidings have been dug out of a hill to a certain degree, just been crafted that way if you like, excavated. So along this bit I shall put more Celotex and a bit of a safety barrier in case anything comes off as well. This is what I've been using here for static grass. It's a WWS Pro-Grass micro applicator from a company called WW Scenics Co Limited, or WWS. I think they're a Welsh company. I bought this off a friend of mine who's finished with his model railway now for various reasons. He had to for the room, and much better than I've used methods before. It creates a magnetic field inside here when it's switched on, and just looks more effective and a lot easier, a lot quicker as well. So I'm glad I've got this bit of kit, because obviously there's a lot more to do when I get the hills going on the other side of the layout, etc. That's going to be coming very handy. The colours I've mainly been using here for static grass are by Knock, and this is a wild grass in, I think it's dark green colour, and I use a little bit of this company called Minotaur, again a dark green, slightly darker green colour, and also the Knock wild grass in beige, as you see in there. use most of that, but just mix these together, and on some occasions just let them go in one big hit as one colour, but I mainly mixed it like here. I find it more effective when you mix the two together. So you've got lighter areas, like this patch here, and then slightly darker there, and then mixture as we go along. But it works very effectively. For the weeds on the track, I've done a brief selection of old woodland scenics, part of the fall mix, dead foliage, and the medium green colours. I'm going to just mix those together, tearing little bits and pieces off. Also be using some of this on the later stages of the layout. Okay, I'll just drop you down here and I'll focus towards the other end gently. Just get an idea. Just show these drain covers that I've applied on the layout from Scale Model Scenery Limited. They're very good. They're laser cut kits, slightly weathered. This is a concrete manhole cover, and I've painted the drain cover a slightly rusty colour on the top there. Incorporated quite a few of these around the layout. So there's that standard model there. And to go further down the layout, this one here, got a row of them. They go further along down here. There's another there as well. Very good little models, fairly cheap as well. All laser cut. Just rusty drain covers I've weathered, and they just add that extra dimension to the layout. Okay, started work on the level crossing project I'm building here. So basically got the road boards down and the trespass boards. The trains pass perfectly through here, no problem at all. And it's a start. I've had to take away the ballast side of the race track to get some of this in. So I'll progress with this with different videos as I go along, and it's going to be quite a long project. So I'll keep you updated on this one. Over at the cement works, I've recently just done a video on the chimney stack, which I've converted to Belshmo smokeout, and put my own smoke generator in there and some aircraft warning lights. So I'll just give you a brief glimpse of what I did on that one again. Weathered the track outside the cement works, so I weathered this quite heavily with oil stains and cement stains as well as we go along. So this is a loading hopper here. There's quite a bit of cement stains down here mixed with oil stains. Fades out towards the points onto the main line, more oil stains, and I've done the same effect here where they've repaired a bit of the ballast on the track, which has not been affected by much of the oil stain. Is quite new. So again, that extra dimension of scenic effect there. So that's all been weathered now, and I'm quite sort of chuffed with that really. It's come out really well. Don't want it too heavy but not too light at the same time. Again, the same on the sidings. Again, as I said with the other sidings, I'm going to add some static grass in between the sleepers here where it's been neglected and not looked after bit of sidings there. Just started to label all the switches, toggle switches, for the points for the north sidings and the spent works and the signalling as well. Obviously there'll be some more signalling to go on there, but I was losing track where the spent works were on the points, etc. So I've just labelled them for now. Might do some more tidy labels in the future, but I need to know what's what because I lost track myself, which is a bit embarrassing. So I've labelled the whole lot. Looks quite neat.